Operator mods. I'm sure by now you've heard all about them. The super attachments unlocked at max weapon level that are unique to each weapon that has one available, and that take 3 class points to equip, 1 for the wildcard, 2 for the attachment. Well, I grinded out a bunch of them, which took a long ass time even with double weapon XP, and I wanted to showcase some gameplay of 5 operator mod classes I've had a ton of fun with, and I'll quickly list off the rest of them at the end. Some are gimmicky, some are legitimately very powerful, and you may want to give them a go next weekend when the beta returns and will be on every system. The first one I gotta show off is the Auger DMR, honestly my favorite weapon from the beta. Say what you will about the crazy powerful SMGs and how the maps we had really benefited an SMG rushing playstyle. Alright, I do agree, but the Auger is so crazy powerful with the right attachments, and after several hours of the road to weapon level 15, the 2-round burst operator mod makes it even more fun. But even before that, it's a great gun, having high caliber for the high headshot damage, plus high cal 2 for the higher upper chest damage. That's insane, 2 shot to the upper body with a very respectable fire rate. And how about we take a look at that recoil at a medium-ish range? Oh yeah, that's right, there's barely any. Dude, come on, what are you doing? Get deleted, I'm trying to test out the recoil over here. Then throw AP rounds on there as well to smash through armor, and you're going to be dropping people very quickly and very accurately. The AP rounds also help take down streaks, which this thing is very good at. 10 shots into a UAV, and it's gone. That's a lot of damage. I don't know if any amount of flex tape would patch that up. You can even take down a strike team chopper in 1 magazine, not that that really matters, and attack helicopters take massive damage. In 1 mag it was already on fire, and a teammate cleaned it up no problem. So no need for a launcher, which I do sometimes like to throw on a class for streaks and for barbed wire if I have 1 extra point lying around. Anyway, onto the actual operator mod itself. I will not take this long with every weapon. The 2-round burst makes it kill even faster. You can get a feel for the fire rate there. It just feels so good. It is as if I have 150 health and everybody else has 100 with this thing. Let's break down a slow motion example here. We got Ruin coming in from the right, full 150 health, full armor as well. Body shot, ooh, Ruin down. We need that again at full speed. Yeah, why even use a sniper rifle? The high cal 2 Auger is unstoppable. I thought this game had a slow time to kill. Hello? What is going on here? Everyone's saying 150 health is a big problem? I don't know, man. Well, I could show you more satisfying 2-round burst kills all day, but I think that's enough Auger gameplay. We should move on to the MOG, the MOG 12. That stands for the Maximum Ownage Gun. Yeah, or the Mother of God. This gun is actually pretty good. Okay, the MOG 12 with the Dragon Breath. Yeah, shotguns are secondaries in this game, so you'd expect them to be a little weaker, but I think they came up with a good system here, where if you're willing to spend a bunch of your class points loading it up with attachments, you can effectively raise it to the level of a primary and put in some serious work with it. The key here being the choked barrel, the upgrade for the long barrel, so you first get your increased range, then just flat out increased damage along with tightening up your spread. You need those two. Then I threw rapid fire on here. Fast mags is also good to reload 2 shells at a time. Then we come to the Dragon Breath, which doesn't deal more damage or less damage with burning over time like in World War II. What it does is inflict the wounded status effect, just like Firebreak's Reactor Core and Purifier. After hitting somebody, they cannot heal for a while. Very powerful, that's why it takes 3 points. Maybe when they likely nerf that wounded duration time, not as powerful, but for now, if you hit somebody and they make it around a corner, you know that they won't be able to heal up and re-challenge you, they should only take 1 more shot, or if you hit someone and die, there's a good chance a teammate cleans them up, and this game gives you full kill credit for that. So go forth and unleash your inner dragon. You do want to be aiming down your sights with the shotgun, by the way. Hitting your pellets will really help you get longer range kills, so you can't have a full team of fire breaks, thank God, but you could have a full team of Dragon Breath. That sounds annoying as hell for the other team, but I don't think you'll see this in game too often, as fun as it can be. Next operator mod, too funny not to include, we have the Spitfire SMG, feeling like the return of the Vesper, with the Wildfire mod, which, by some hand testing, appears to increase your fire rate by 40%, from a little over 1,000 to about 1,450. My god, but it does also increase your recoil even more and slows down your movement speed while aiming and firing, kind of like an LMG. You could counter that effect with the stock, but first of all you need extended mags. Fast mags is not a bad idea either, but I love both laser sights for the super tight hip fire even while moving as well. Very fun. You might want scavenger, but I often run crash with the ammo bags. So as you might expect, it melts up close, but is considerably harder to use at a longer range. The Spitfire is actually surprisingly accurate before using this mod, and already kills pretty quickly without it, so I would consider this to be the least practical mod here to spend 3 points on. It isn't pure advantage after all, there's a trade-off, but I had to cover the fastest firing gun in the game. You can get some very satisfying melty kills with it, worth trying out. Speaking of satisfying, it's revolver time. Had to touch on the Mozu. Is it practical to run only this thing? Maybe not, but it really isn't bad either. I love the attachments you can pile on here. Half the rifles don't even have a stock attachment available, but the Mozu does. Alrighty then. The mod is the Skull Splitter, making headshots always lethal, so you'll want to be using high caliber up until you unlock that mod, but afterwards there's not as much point in it, so I replaced it with the stock. You could still run it for the extra chest damage though. The scope is a lot of fun to be accurate at longer range. The speed reloader you absolutely need, otherwise you're stuck reloading one bullet at a time, and the stabilizer is huge for cutting down on the idle sway when aiming at longer ranges. With all of that, you can proceed to run around picking people off with headshots. Nothing feels better than collecting one-shot kill medals with a pistol, this great value brand Annihilator. I wouldn't consider it better than a regular gun, but you can totally compete with it. And if you play only going for headshots, it's pretty good snap aim practice and teaches you to have good head-level crosshair placement. Also, you will likely want either scavenger or crash again for this setup as well. You don't get much ammo to start with. Anyway, you get the gist of it. Pretty fun. Last one I'll cover, yet another different weapon category. I think this one is pretty low class, but the VAPR-XKG with the Bayonet mod. I threw some other attachments on here too, because it is a pretty good gun by itself, but the Bayonet is pretty much what it sounds like. It gives you one-hit kill melee potential with the click of a button. No bayonet charge like in World War II though, thankfully, but with the 150 health, having one-hit kill melee is pretty powerful. Maybe not worth 3 points unless you're using it all the time, but I'm glad it does cost that much to have fewer people running it. It can whiff a lot, it doesn't have a crazy commando lock-on or anything, so not too annoying or OP, just an interesting option to have in close quarters. This same Ruin guy kept trying to get into the headquarters, but I was not going to let that happen. Well, if you hadn't seen a couple of those in action yet, hopefully that was interesting. Now for a quick rundown of the remaining operator mods in the beta, if you haven't heard of them yet. The GKS SMG has a long burst, which turns it from auto into a 4-round burst with improved range. The Cordite has belt fed, which is basically infinite ammo. You have many hundreds of rounds available, and you can fire 100 or so before it overheats, which is a great mod because of how you typically have to manually heal after every gunfight now. It's great to not also have to reload. Your gun just cools down super quick, and you can keep pushing. I talked about loving the Auger, but the other two tactical rifles seemed really solid as well. I wanted to showcase some variety though, and they take forever to grind up, but I love that entire rifle category. The ABR 3-round burst really melts people as well, the operator mod being the burst Accelerator, which allows you to hold the trigger down, and each successive burst will fire with a shorter delay. Wow. And the Swordfish 4-round burst has burst count, which makes it a 5-round burst and provides additional ammo. The Titan LMG has the Suppressive barrel, which suppresses enemies near your bullet stream, which only seems to blur and shake people's screen a little bit. Doesn't seem worth it. Then the Koshka sniper has Speed Center, making you always ADS right in the middle of your screen, which when combined with stuff like the double quick draw attachments could be pretty crazy in the right hands. Finally, the Strife pistol has a tactical knife, similar to the Bayonet, we know how that works. The only mod we don't know about yet is the firing unit on the Maddox RFB assault rifle, as that won't be unlocked until level 40, which should be the level cap next weekend. There are also several weapons that don't have an operator mod available. Who knows if it'll stay that way or if they'll have something in the full game, and there will of course be more weapons in the full game. Anyway, that's all for operator mods, an interesting new way to customize your weapons with some powerful and unique attachments without it being too overpowered because you have to sacrifice most of your class if you want to run them. Just so you know, next video should finally be a review of the beta before the second weekend begins. Until then, thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.